All right,
Garage
we are
sailing.
back. We've been gone for a couple of weeks. Actually, we haven't been gone. We've been skunked literally for like 2 weekends in a row.
Last
we were both
weekend.
flat out skunked.
Last
blue
week
chunks.
sucked.
It sucked
It was
so
a
bad.
huge swing and a miss.
The community sales have so many pickers. It is unfathomable right now. But we're not going to talk about last week. We're going to talk about this week.
We're going to talk about
I
this
had the
week.
single greatest day of garage selling that anybody on the internet
Ever.
has ever had. And I'm going to talk about
That
that.
includes CJR,
Yeah,
by
have
the
you
way.
seen his last video?
This tops that.
He may as well have just found Madden 94s and Kinect Adventures, because wait till you see what I found.
Kinect Adventures one time.
Yeah, look, I
This
found
is-
one of the rarest games of all time.
This is sick.
You are
fun.
not going to believe what I found. But we're going to start with you, because we want to keep you hanging. That's why we...
I had a good day. By comparison, it was a lousy day, but I was happy with what I found. I start off the day, I go into a garage, it's having a garage sale, and I see a bin with a Super Nintendo, a Genesis, a bunch of cords, and then I look closer and I see a Nintendo 64 controller. And I'm thinking to myself, Genesis games, Super Nintendo games, Nintendo 64 games. I was just gonna like, dude, bring it on out. I picked up the Super Nintendo just to kind of inspect it a little bit, you know, and the lady goes, oh, those aren't for sale. And I'm just, and I do my spiel, I try to... You know, can you just bring out some games?
yeah.
I already have the systems.
Work on your speechcraft.
Nothing worked. One of the next sales, this isn't really that impressive.
So, do we have any real footage?
I don't.
Okay, I have some footage which I'm going to show. He didn't get any footage, but he has some
I don't
good
have any
stuff to show.
footage. I got a Game Gear. I had some Xbox, or he had some Xbox stuff out. I was looking through it. You got anything else? So he shows me this. There are 13 Game Gear games, including the one in the system. A Game Gear, all the instruction manuals. Most of these games are Sonic games. There's like literally 6 or 7 different
Sonic the Hedgehog,
games.
The Lion King, The Jungle Book, Sonic 2, Pac-Man, something Desert Speed Trap,
Never heard of it.
another Miss Pac-Man game, Sonic Blast, Sonic Spinball, Sonic something else, another Sonic, and another Sonic. You're right, they're almost all Sonic
bunch
games.
of Sonic games.
Yeah.
And
They're all different Sonic games.
I was like, hey, does it work? And the guy was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure it works. And I'm thinking, Game Gears never work. If you find a Game Gear that still works, dude,
I actually did
you
this
got
year.
lucky. They hardly ever work. There's a chip inside or something that it has like a kill switch in it to disintegrate after like 20 years of being made. They hardly ever work.
Yeah.
I plugged this in right in front of the guy in his garage. Sure enough, it didn't work. So I'm like, all right, I'll offer you $10 for the whole thing. So he said, okay. So cheap to collect for right now.
Oh man,
Game
you can do
Gear,
a run on the Game Gear for just nothing.
Even Game Boy, even original Game
You're
Boy,
right, yeah.
even first-party Mario, Zelda, Metroid, Game Boy titles are almost all under $20.
I was going to say under $10 for some of them.
Yeah,
You can
many
probably,
of them $10-ish. I mean, it's super cheap to collect for. Now's the time to collect that stuff.
Yeah. Do it now. Did you find anything else? Oh, you got some other stuff.
I got one more sale. They had some Wii stuff, some Xbox stuff. These are the Wii games that they had out. Somehow I ended up with that. With Deus Ex. I don't even know why. Junk. Res Evil Umbrella. Zelda. This was a different sale. We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
And then this is still sealed. Wii Sports. This is an easy $20 bill on eBay if you find it sealed like that.
It's crazy.
I know.
Wii Sports.
Yeah, there's a Wii down there too. I'm not going to dig it out. They wanted $25 for all of that, and I thought, I mean, with this being sealed, I'm like, all right, I'll give you $25 for it.
Sure.
And then I said, you got any older stuff? And the guy was like, yeah, my wife does or whatever. Hey, come here, hon. And she came out. He was like, don't you have some GameCube games? And I'm thinking, GameCube? And she goes, no. It's Nintendo 64. And I'm thinking, Nintendo 64. And she started talking, and she was kind of hesitating, like, well, I still play Zelda. And I'm thinking, oh, crap. And so I made it clear. I was like, I don't really need the system, because I already have that. I'm mostly just interested in the games. And then she goes, oh, I got games. Hang on. And I was like, yes. She comes out with this.
Oh, man.
And I could see this.
Let's take a look here. You talk, I'll open.
And she opened it up, and she pulled Zelda Ocarina out, and it was the non-gold version, so it's not worth a ton. She pulled that out and said, I want to keep this. And I was like, all right. We got Yoshi's Story. We got...
Ooh, that's a good one. Mario Party 2.
Mario Party 2. There's some shovelware in
How
here.
much is that worth? Do you know? Mario Party 2?
I think it's north of $40.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mario Kart 64 slam
Mario
dunk.
Kart. Everybody loves Mario Kart.
Another slam dunk. Mario 64.
Mario 64.
Cruising USA.
Shovelware.
Sorry, I'm going through your games.
There's a couple shovelware.
I don't know. Is this game worth anything?
It's not worth a ton. I found this game in the box a few years ago at like an estate sale, and I got so excited because Bomberman games. If you find like Bomberman 2 on NES, that's like a $75 game.
Yeah.
So I thought it was worth a lot, and I found it in the box. I got so excited. I think it was worth like $20 in the box. It's not that valuable.
Extreme G.
No, it's kind of junky.
Hexen. I found this before. I don't remember what
I don't think it's worth a ton.
Perfect Dark.
Everybody loves Perfect Dark.
This is an amazing game. Why doesn't Microsoft and Rare resurrect this series?
They did in 2005.
Yeah, 10 years ago.
Perfect Dark Zero.
Come on, man.
And it sucked.
People love this game. It was so good and so polished compared to GoldenEye at the time. And then Microsoft buys Rare and they're like, okay, here's one more game that we half-assed, and that's all. Anyway.
So I'm like, hey, what do you want for all these games? And she's like, how about $1 each? And I was like, okay, how much for the Wii stuff and these games? And she was like, $30 for everything. So I'm like, okay, that's pretty much 50 cents a game plus all the Wii stuff.
$30. This game alone is worth like 40. So you paid 30 for everything.
Like, dude, I was pretty stoked about that. Later on in the day, I was at a sale and I found these two games sitting out.
Sitting out. Huh?
Yeah, and they didn't. This was like 1 or 2 o'clock. It was like we were on our way. Me and my wife were driving somewhere. We just sort of saw a sign and like, oh, stop here. They had these sitting out. That's a pretty rare game. It's not worth a ton. Valkyrie Profile 2, but it was like $1, and this was $1. This is actually rare, and it's kind of valuable. Unfortunately, it's a 2-disc game, and one of the discs is missing. So it's still worth a little bit. It's probably, I don't know, I figure I could get at least $20 out of it. I'm not going to keep, I don't have any interest in this game. I will keep, I am slowly getting a pretty good collection of PS2 RPGs. That's one of the few things I'm really actively collecting right now.
Yeah,
so that's going to fit in really nicely in my collection. I've got several others right now. It's a great time to collect PS2 RPGs.
Yeah.
They're not worth any more than like $12 each. I mean,
okay, hold on here.
I got a bonus game. I thought I got Deus Ex, but there's BioShock in here too.
Wow.
And this came with all the Nintendo 64 stuff. They had a bunch of other Xbox stuff that I passed because it was all shovelware. And this is kind of shovelware-y, but somehow it just got thrown into the bin. And as I was leaving, the lady was like, oh, do you need some controllers? And I'm like, yeah, I need some controllers.
Everyone needs controllers. You can't play a game without controllers.
So she comes out with these two.
I love this controller.
A silver Xbox 360 controller. Pretty cool. You don't see that very often.
Really nice shape.
And a Nintendo 64 controller, which is great. It looks kind of damaged, but it's actually just kind of ink or pen mark or something.
Yeah.
Great buttons. Really good stick on it. This stick is like a 9 out of 10.
That's a great
Considering that they had Mario Party 2,
amazing.
I am shocked that this stick is this good. I was pretty stoked about my day. I thought I had a good day.
And then you came over in my house.
And then I came over here and he was like, well, I think I had a better day. And I was like, that's cool.
I'll be honest, I've never seen a single find as good as what I had yesterday. So I've got some footage. I don't have a ton. There's a reason for that. I'll briefly explain why I don't have a lot of footage. I got towards the end of my day and I was saving the battery in my spy glasses because I am still on call for a guy that supposedly has hundreds of boxed original NES and Super NES games.
Dude.
And so I wanted to save the battery in my spy glasses, and I had already finished everything on my route, and so I didn't even, my glasses were in my car, and that's when I started actually finding the really good stuff. So I have some footage, and then I'll show you what I found. Stay tuned. This is unfreaking believable. You're going to crap your pants when you see this. We'll roll tape right now, and then I'll show you what I found.
You wouldn't have any video games you're selling, would you?
Video games. I like to have my kids.
Okay. Yeah, I'm looking for,
Stuff is back here, actually. Okay. Oh, there you go.
oh yeah, PlayStation. I'm going to take a look at that. But yeah, I mean, for $1 each, I'll take these 5, and then if he's got anything else,
I can go after him.
yeah, if you wouldn't mind, I'll just hang out.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. All right. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
Well, heck, then where you leave it to?
Johnny.
Do you know if there's any games?
No, that's what everybody asked. We dug through, I didn't see it.
You don't know if they work either.
Might be in there.
Yeah. There's two of them? Did one?
My son said 50 bucks one. He got that one on whatever. He just
Oh.
got to live on.
So he was asking 25 for each of them?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We'll have to pass on that. Morning. How's it going? What are you asking on the games here? This is what I call the game belt. Every house here has video games. Probably Super Nintendo and GameCube. Probably in the box. Probably in a sealed box. And I don't know why, but every time I come here, I drive all the way out here sometimes for one or two garage sales, and boom, video games. How's it going? Are you asking $4 for the bundle here? So it's $4. Alright, I can probably do that. Okay, I'm still shaking at that sale right there. Very unassuming. Husband and wife both smell like smoke. I got them to bring this out. They had no games out. I started asking. Yeah, I'm still shaking right now. Where is it? Where is it? There's a gem in here. Look at this. Ultima. Zombies Ate My Neighbors. Mario RPG. Zelda. There she is. Oh man. I'm shaking. I can't believe this. I can't believe this is happening. Look at this. Oh. Always ask. Always ask.
Alright, as you can see, I started off at a house where they had a sale in the front yard and the backyard. So I asked about video games. He says, oh yeah, and he walks me all the way to the back side of the house. And he had 4 PS1 games sitting there. Nothing outstanding. I don't know, Driver, Dave something, BMX, Tekken 3, a decent title for PS1. I don't know. I might just hang on to that. Twisted Metal 3. They're all in pretty good condition.
Twisted Metal 3 was so disappointing. Everybody loved 1 and 2, and they just wholly dropped the ball with 3.
And then, as you can see, I came across a sale with some Wii stuff, Wii Sports.
Just typical
Mario Kart.
Wii.
Typical stuff. I didn't want all these games. She asked $2 a piece for them. I grabbed all of them, and I said, how about I give you $15 for... I don't remember where this was from. I don't think it was from that sale. The titles just get worse as I move along.
Harry Potter.
But for $15, I can make all my money back with Mario Kart, and then, Mario Galaxy, Wii Play, Wii Sports. At the very least, GameStop will give me $5 each for those.
It's going to improve soon, I promise.
The crazy thing about this is this was a Saturday at about 10:30 a.m., and I get to the sale. It was a Friday-Saturday sale, which I don't normally go to.
I don't even go to those usually.
But I was like, whatever.
Unless there's nothing
I
else.
was killing time waiting for that guy to get back to me. So I was like, I'll hit these Friday-Saturday sales. DSi XL with power cord and with some games that they're garbage. $4. I had to confirm. I said, $4 for all of it? And the kid said, yeah. I was like, take my money. Shut up and take my money. I sold one of these last year, and I got, I think, $40 for it.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
I promise this gets better. It rhymes with hovelware.
So I get to another sale. Again, no footage of this. They have this Xbox 360 sitting out. Grand Theft Auto 5, $10 price sticker on it. I don't really want to pay $10 for a 360, especially not knowing what kind of memory it has in there. So I said, out of curiosity, you know if this is the 250 gig version? And I knew they didn't know.
No,
she looked at me. She said, I have no idea. And I said, yeah, I think I might pass on it. She said, how about $5? She said, I don't want to keep this thing. So
controller's good.
And I honestly, I haven't even plugged in to see which version it is. But it's the Xbox. It's the 360 Slim, so I'm not worried about red ring of death. These are usually pretty red ring.
They're more reliable than the earlier models.
It had all the cords. It didn't come with HDMI cord, but I'll sell it with an HDMI cord. I have extras. Grand Theft Auto 5. I don't know, $5 for all this. I'll put it on eBay. I'll probably get 35. Split the shipping charges. You got to use a large priority mailbox for these things. You know, it'll be a nice little $20 profit. Whatever. Anyway, get it out of my way. These games, I don't even remember where I found these games. I don't even think I have footage. Doesn't matter. Keep going.
Why did you even buy?
It came with some
Madden.
It came with something
25?
else. I think it came with that Xbox. Guitar Hero on Tour DS. It's got the game. I don't know. Keep going. Little bag of cords. I don't know. PS2 memory card. DS original DS power cord, which is cool. I always need those.
I'm getting bored.
It gets better.
Let's get to the good stuff.
All right. Actually, this is pretty good. So I asked about games. He points me to the table, and it's a
PSP.
It's a PSP. Look at the condition of this PSP. It's a 3001 model.
Really nice screen. These screens, there's nothing to protect them.
Look at that screen.
Like the
it
DS.
looks brand new. It's a 3001 model, which one of the most expensive models out there.
Yeah. It is.
And a handful of games that are all garbage. Oh, there's a bonus game. Check it out.
Oh, there it is. Bonus game. It's a movie.
It's a bonus movie.
Super bad.
But it's a good movie.
Yeah.
Oh man, Superbad is such a classic.
We could be that mistake.
This was $5.
Unfortunately, you don't see PSP stuff at garage sales hardly ever.
Not
much. Compared to DS and Nintendo stuff, but really great library. I mean, a ton of great RPGs and just. I'm trying to get more. Boring.
16-bit. I think I paid $10 for this. I was bored. It was before I found much that day. I was like, okay, fine. Here
Does
you go.
it work? I mean, what?
I don't know. It looks barely used. So I showed up at another sale, and they've got this sitting out for $5. It's in really nice condition. There were a handful of games, including Mario and Tetris. I don't remember where I put them. Anyway, keep going. I don't know. These came in various sales. I don't remember what I paid for them. They're an easy $7 eBay, whatever.
$5 at GameStop or whatever.
Yeah,
Sometimes I just save these up and take them to GameStop and get some credit out of them.
So I get to another sale, and I walk around. I don't see anything. And I ask about games, and she points me to this Boba Fett thing. I didn't even know what it was. It's a white DS, and it has several games. Mario Kart and New Super Mario Brothers are the only ones that are decent titles. The rest are garbage. Original power cord. It's a white DS Lite. Bonus game is Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga. It has this cover here for the GBA, but it does not have a style. Oh, it does have a stylus. All right. For some reason, I forgot about that. Screens are in decent shape. Needs to be cleaned a little bit. Hinge is good. She asked $20 for all this, and I offered her $15. She said sure. So $15 for this. $15 for this with a dope case too.
All right, let's get to some good stuff.
Right.
Who wants some good stuff?
Who wants to see some good stuff? The
DS
best
Lite?
find of all time. I get to a sale. Again, it's not even listed. I'm at a Friday, Saturday sale on a Saturday. I don't even have my spy glasses turned on. And I walk across the street because I see some people setting up another sale. And I go up to this lady and I ask her about video games. She's almost completely deaf. She has no idea what I'm talking about. I had to almost yell at her, video games. And she smiled and she said, she pointed her finger like, hold on a second. She runs inside, she gets her husband. He comes out. They're both smoking like chimneys, and it's a small house. And I asked about video games. I told him what I want, Super Nintendo, NES, all that stuff. He says, yeah, I've got all that stuff. Oh, I love it.
Bring it out.
I said, okay, can you bring it out? Sure. He goes inside, and he brings out this. About 7 filthy NES games with the best title probably being Mario Brothers 2.
Yeah,
I mean,
mediocre
Deadly Towers.
titles. Ooh,
It's
ouch.
a terrible game. I'd be surprised if they work. I haven't tested any of them. The original Mario Brothers, I don't know. I kind of want that for
It's
my
a black
collection.
box game. That's
Yeah.
kind of cool, but yeah,
So-
nothing to write home about.
Yeah,
in
World
there.
Games, Mario Duck Hunt, RC Pro-Am, Skate or Die, Deadly Towers. Like, he brings these out of a house that clearly they're smokers. They're filthy. I haven't tested them. I said, well, what else do you have? It just gets better. So the next time he comes out with about 15 Game Boy games. And these are actually much cleaner. I tested them, they all work. And the titles are getting a lot better. We've got Mario Land 2, Adventure Island 2, Zelda,
I've
Link's
never played that
Awakening,
Adventure Island 2.
the Final Fantasy Legend.
Love that game.
And I bought it at Fred Meyer just because the box art looked cool.
Love that box art.
Yeah, amazing game.
I have that game in the box. That's one of the only boxes I have on Game Boy.
Yeah, Mole Mania. There's some other decent titles here. Metroid 2, Super RC Pro-Am, Something Mission, the original Super Mario Land. So anyway, we're getting better. The titles are good. These games are a lot cleaner than the NES games. So at this point, I'm still interested. I said, well, what else do you have?
Yeah.
He says, I have a bunch of Super Nintendo games. I said, great, can you bring them out? And he starts to hum and haw, and he says, well, he looks in the house, and he says, you know, I don't know when I'm going to get to it. Maybe you can come back later. And I'm just like,
I hate it when people say
I'm not
that.
coming back later.
No.
I said, you know, I don't even live in this area, which is true. And then I said, I don't have anything else going on. This is the last house on my route. And it was. I said, I don't have anything else to do today. That's what I told him. I said, I can wait as long as I can wait.
For Super Nintendo games, I am waiting.
Absolutely.
All day.
So I stood there, and he said, okay. And he went in the house, and I swear, it seemed like an eternity. It was probably about 15 minutes.
Really?
He was in the house, and I could hear him in there. And meanwhile, his wife was slowly bringing out odds and ends to sell at the garage sale. And then finally, he comes out, and he's holding a basket of games. And you saw in the footage already, because I have a short footage of me looking through my trunk, and you saw a glimpse of these things, including Earthbound. Let me tell you, Earthbound is just the beginning. That is not the rare game I'm talking about. You're not going to believe this. So, first of all, 2 games did not work. They were filthy. I tried cleaning them.
I love Final Fight.
They still didn't work. I love both of these
I love
games.
Mario Kart as well.
I couldn't get either of them to work. If 2 games in this bunch aren't going to work, these are the 2 you don't want to work. These are probably two of the worst games in the entire batch. I'm just going to randomly start grabbing games. I'm not even going to go from like worst to best. I'm just going to randomly... I take it back. I'm going to save the best for last.
Save the best for save the best for
All right.
last.
We've got Zombies Ate My Neighbors.
Choice. I found this last year at a sale.
Ultima 2. Izzy's Quest for the Olympic Rings. I don't know, this is probably one of the worst titles. Flintstones, The Treasure of Sierra Madrock. This is actually a really valuable title. Probably a $60, $65 game.
I've never
price
seen
charting.
this, yeah.
Super Mario World. One of 2 copies. For
Everybody
some reason.
had that game.
Ultraman.
Nice.
Lufia, The Fortress of Doom.
Nice.
That's a really valuable game. Not compared to some of these other games, though. And all these are in really nice condition. I cleaned them all and I tested them all.
They don't smell like smoke
no,
either.
they don't. These things were like in
They
boxes,
must have kept
in
separate.
drawers.
Yeah.
The 7th Saga.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a computer game.
Kirby's Dream Course.
It's Kirby.
Whiz. I don't know.
Shizza.
Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. It's funny. This is like one of the weaker titles in the whole batch. How many times do you find a Super Nintendo lot and Zelda's one of the weaker titles?
Not very often.
All right. Paladin's Quest. I haven't even played most of these games. Kirby's Avalanche.
Yeah, both Kirby games.
Here's a good one. Super Mario RPG.
Nice.
Amazing condition
Nice.
too. Yeah. Oscar. I never heard of it, but Ys 3, Wanderers from Ys. I didn't know or forgot that there was an Ys game on the Super Nintendo.
Yep.
Unfortunately, it's only about a $20 game. I don't think it's a very good game in compared to the rest of the Ys games. Like Ys Book 1 and 2 and the TurboGrafx is a really valuable game, and then all the subsequent Ys titles hold their value pretty well. This is a pretty cheap game, and I'm not sure why. I think it must not be good. Donkey Kong Country 2.
Slam dunk.
Super Mario Kart. This one works. So this is the second one in the batch, but the other one doesn't work. Vortex. I don't even know what it is. We've got Gym Power, The Lost Dimension in 3D.
I like Earthworm Jim better.
Yeah. Big Sky Trooper.
Some strange titles.
Here's a good one. ActRaiser.
Nice.
Yeah.
Solid. Hard, but solid.
Yeah.
Great music and acting.
Yeah, I don't own ActRaiser.
I love that soundtrack.
I'm really happy to find that game. I don't own it. I've been wanting it. I've actually never really played it, and everyone keeps telling me how great it is, so I'm really looking forward to it. Blackthorn, never heard of it? I don't know. If any of these games are good that we haven't heard of, I've
heard of Blackthorn. I remember seeing a lot of advertisements in magazines for this. I can picture that logo.
Yeah.
I don't know. They marketed this game a lot back in the day.
And then game called Earthbound.
Little title you might have heard of.
Yeah. It's in such great condition.
That's amazing.
The sticker's good. It's so clean. They probably didn't play it that much. Did you ever think this would happen? That I would be handing you Earthbound in one of our pickup videos?
I never thought we would find anything better than Metal Warriors on Super Nintendo, which I found a couple years ago. And
I never thought I would find anything better than Earthbound. But I was wrong about that. Again,
he was wrong about
watch till the end. We've got another Ultimate game. This is Ultimate 1.
I think people can probably narrow it down. There's a pretty small list of Super Nintendo games that are more valuable than Earthbound. I mean, it's less than 5, right?
All right. I've got 5 games left. I'm going to save the best to last. X-Zone. I don't know anything about this game.
It's not worth anything.
No, it's not.
I found this at a yard sale before. I think it was a Super Scope game, if I'm not mistaken. One of the few. Yeah, it is. Look, Super Scope 6. Yeah.
Well, there you go.
It's not worth anything.
Dragon's Lair. I don't know. ActRaiser 2.
The sequel.
Actually, it's worth less than ActRaiser 1. I'm not sure. People don't like it as much.
Yeah, they kind of botched it.
Pitfall. This is one of the weaker titles, actually.
Yeah, Pitfall's not really.
Another copy of Super Mario World.
Choice.
And there's only one title left.
Yep.
Any guesses?
It's better than Earthbound. It's either Hagan or...
It's Aero Fighters.
Aero Fighters.
Yeah. And it is in immaculate condition.
If you look at it in the light, there might be a couple small scuffs in the label, but it's really, really choice.
It's so nice. It's so clean. The cart's clean. I tested it. It worked perfectly in the first try. Where do I go from here?
How do you top that?
Where do we go from here?
Yeah. That's it. He won garage sales.
I won. It's over.
I'm sorry, CJR. I know you found 2 Chrono Triggers in one day,
and 2 Final Fantasy 3s, but I won. Sorry, Bithead 1000. You can cry if you want to. I won.
Oh, Bithead's kind of a crybaby.
He is kind of a crybaby.
Does he even try anymore, or does he sit in his garage and have people mail him packages? Get out there, man.
I know.
Freaking put some legwork in.
Get out there. Drive around. You live on Long Island? It's a huge island. I've been there. There's got to be a lot of garage sales. Get out there.
Don't give up, man.
No, don't give up.
I love watching him just go out and converse with people and tell his stories.
Yeah. You want to find Aero Fighters? You got to get out there and you got to ask for it.
Yeah.
So the story on this lot is exactly what you want to find. It was a guy and his wife. They were probably pushing 60 years old. They're probably not going to live much longer based on the way they smoke. Yeah. And he said that his son had grown up playing these games, and his son had moved out, and he left all of them here and never played them again.
Perfect. Empty nesters.
Empty nesters.
Don't want to hang on to this stuff anymore.
He kept telling me the whole time that he believed that they were worth $10 each. He kept saying that. He's like, yeah,
where did he get
they're worth $10 each. So I piled up everything, and I said, how much for everything? Do you have a number in mind? And he said, no. He said, honestly, I don't know. That's what he told me. And I thought, well, he thinks they're worth $10 each. With the Super Nintendo and the Game Boy and the NES, we're probably pushing 50 games easily. So at that point, how much would I be paying him? $500? And I said, how about $100? Yeah, he wouldn't throw out a number, so I threw out the first number. I said, how about $100? And he said, no. He said, not even close. And I said, how about $200? Nope. And then he finally said $250. I tried to get him down a little bit from $250, and I didn't even see these games while we were doing this. It was a basket full of games. He was counting them. I didn't get a chance to look at any individual titles. The only ones I saw were Super Mario RPG. I remember seeing Lufia, Ultima. I saw those titles. I saw Zelda and Mario Kart and stuff like that. And so I knew there were good titles in there. I didn't see a flood of sports games. There's no sports games at all.
So at $250 for the lot,
yep.
I just counted 47 games.
Okay.
That is $5.32 per game if you want to break it down like that.
Right. So he thought they were worth $10 a game. I ended up paying about $5 a game. I ended up getting Earthbound and Aero Fighters in immaculate condition. There's nowhere to go but downhill now for me.
There really isn't. I mean, a sealed copy of Chrono Trigger, I guess. I mean,
Magical Chase sealed copy.
Even an unsealed Magical Chase would be pretty nice.
Jeez, I'd take a broken loose copy of it. Probably worth $1,000. Hold on, before we leave you, this also came with this whole batch of the $250. Got a Super Game Boy and a... I keep wanting to say Turbo Duo. He about crapped his pants and I said Turbo Duo.
He was like, I got a Turbo Duo. Like,
it's a Retro Duo. And it looks like it has all the cords.
So that plays Super Nintendo and Genesis?
I think it plays Super Nintendo and NES. That's it. It is NES.
Oh, there we go.
It is NES. It fits like a glove. All right. So how'd you guys do? Tell us in the comments.
Yeah.
Has anyone ever had a better single day than this? I'd love to know.
I thought I had a good day yesterday. I was like, look at these Nintendo 64 games I got for they're so cheap.
I've never had a day like this, and I probably never will again. All right, guys, stay tuned. We will hopefully have a killer video on a pickup that I'm still waiting on a phone call on. I hate to get everyone's hopes up, but I'm really hopeful on this one. It could be the greatest find of all time, and it could make this look like child's play, and I'm not exaggerating at all when I say that. It was a contact I met at a garage sale, asked about games. We've been bouncing text messages back and forth, and there are supposedly hundreds of boxed NES and Super NES games that this guy has. And I'm supposed to go over there today to pick these up. Waiting for a response. We'll make a video if I end up picking it up. Otherwise, I think we're out.
We're out.
All right.